Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another one of my free-to-play series coming in with a free-to-play account. So we're going to do a guide on Minotaur. What does he do? How do you beat him? Why do you want to farm masteries? All that type of stuff. And I guess I'd open up by saying, and I've said this in previous videos as well, if you can, you should buy masteries on at least your first champion, but ideally your first two champions with gems. So I invested in the gem mine very early on this account. I got it right up to level max. So I'm getting like a full amount of gems coming through on a daily basis. And I do my quests every single day to get myself my extra 10 gems here. So it is definitely possible. Plus, you get like the odd gems, 15 gems, 25 gems, and all these different events that you do. So it's definitely possible to save, and then buy masteries and buy them twice. So I've done that. I also had a bit of a slippery error where I actually bought something on this account, which I've said about already. Something I'll go into it. But so I bought masteries on one more person. So we have got full masteries here, which I bought with gems. And here, which I bought with gems. And then everyone else, I've kind of just started to run through Minotaur and get like base level masteries on. So at least like tier 2, tier 3 masteries is helpful for anyone else that you're running in the game. Now, in terms of actually doing Minotaur, so once you've got two champions with full masteries, Minotaur becomes tons easier. And I would say it's probably not worth you running Minotaur unless you can run stage, I'd say at least 13, but ideally 14 or 15, and definitely ideally 15. The reason for that, look at the amount of scrolls you get extra for as the stages jump up. So stage like 11 and 12, for 12 energy, you've got a chance of getting less than half of the same stage on stage 15, which is costing you 2 energy more. So in terms of efficiency with your energy, the higher you can get in Minotaur, the better by like a mile. So what I tend to do is I will always run the people that have got full masteries in the team already. So the ones I bought the masteries for, keep those in the mix, because that means that only the people that don't have masteries have a chance of getting scrolls. Otherwise, if you just put everyone in here that didn't have masteries, all of these different guys have got a chance to get them. And actually, I want to focus my masteries on people that it's going to make the biggest difference for. So keep all the people that have got masteries in there. I ideally want to get more masteries on my Maneater. He's the next one I want to get fully mastered up. And at the moment, we've been able to get like tier 3. Tier 3, and I've got one more set of tier 3 to go. I've got 30 here. So I'm a lot of energy and I'm a lot of time away from him being maxed. And I really do want him to be maxed because he's going to be my clan boss team. And anyone in clan boss that you could get full masteries for makes a big difference to the damage that you put out. The other thing to be aware of is you get XP for farming the Minotaur. So if you, like I've got here, 2 people that are not maxed out yet, I actually run Minotaur as a way of farming their XP at the same time as farming their masteries. If I'm not like super desperate to get them to 60, this is not a bad way to do it. So let's go into the fight. I'm farming now stage 15 because I've got 3 champions that are fully maxed, and I've got someone else who's coming in who's quite strong. And really what you want here is you want a decent amount of AoE damage to get you through the waves. So your starter champions are really good for wave clearing, as long as you've got a decent amount of crit on them and some crit damage. And things like speed boots and what have you, but you kind of just want a decent amount of stats on your starter champs. I've got in here a speed champion who's actually not running that fast. I don't have her geared very well for this, but I actually want her to get masteries as well. So I've got a speed champion, I've got 2 AoE damage dealers, and then I've got Maneater that kind of does a mixture of a bit of damage and some team protection. I could definitely swap Maneater or High Katoon for my War Maiden and drop their defense and make this quicker. So dropping defense will definitely help you here, especially if you've got like a drop defense person that's already masteried up and you're just looking to get through the Minotaur faster. So waves are generally pretty easy. Reason why I've never done a guide on this boss before is because he's actually it's one of the easier parts of the game. But let's just run through what he does quickly. So he's got an A1 which attacks all enemies and deals double damage to anyone who's got Hex. So he's going to Hex us with his A2. attacks all enemies, places a hex debuff for 5 turns on 3 random targets. They cannot be resisted. They can't be resisted, but they can be cleansed. So if you've got like a Doom Priest or someone that can cleanse, or Reliquary Tender or anyone like that that can cleanse off debuffs, then you can actually cleanse those off. But they can't be resisted. So high resistance makes no difference here. He gets 3 of them at random, so anyone who gets that on, he's going to hit twice as hard, yeah? And then he's got a passive. So he starts with Rage. You see the blue buff there is Rage. You cannot cleanse that off. Whilst active, the Rage buff increases the damage the Minotaur deals by 400%. So while that's active, he does 400% more damage. And whilst you've got Hex on you, you take double the damage. So everything he's doing there is multiplying up his damage, yeah? Once the Rage expires, the Minotaur will become dazed. And whilst dazed, you do double damage to him. So you do 200% damage. So it's all about just being able to stay alive. What's his other passive? Just can't be provoked and stuff. Yeah. So it's just all about being able to stay alive whilst Rage is up, and then having enough damage to do your damage when Rage is down. Now you see here, my Man-Eater's actually clutch because he's put block debuffs on everyone. So I don't get the Hex, which makes this even easier for me. But all we're doing is killing the ads on auto. This is fully auto friendly. Kill the ads whilst he's got his Rage up. Ideally with some AoEs and that type of thing. He's going to get his Hex back in a minute, so he's probably going to, unless my Man-Eater sinks in again and just happens to get his block debuffs up, we're probably going to actually take the Hex next time. But then it's literally just a case of wearing him down. When his Rage wears off, then you're going to do a ton more damage. And that's normally when you kill him. You did notice there that I just dropped his turn meter, so anyone with turn meter drops is great for Minotaur. Means you've got more time to get your work done. But it really is quite a simple dungeon to complete. Once you've got yourself, I'd say 3 level 60s, there's kind of really no excuse that you shouldn't be just absolutely nuking this down. So you see his Rage has dropped off, so we're doing double damage here. So this is your time to put the damage in. And I'm normally autoing this in like 2.5 minutes or so at this level. So poisons do a ton of damage to him as well. And obviously we get a decent amount of scrolls there. So here's what I mean about having a decreased defense champion. So the only thing with my decreased defense champion, she's a bit squishy, but you throw your decreased defense out there early and it helps you get through the waves much faster. So we'll probably basically do like 1 rotation to get through the waves instead of 2. But you definitely want to be farming these higher levels if you can, because it makes a big difference to the amount of energy you need to extend to get your scrolls. So same sort of thing, we're laying the nukes. I think we've got decreased defense coming around maybe now. She's going to go down quite soon. As I say, she's quite squishy for me, so the reason why I don't really bring her in is because she can't take a hit. But if you can keep her alive, if she's a 60 and she's already got her masteries and you keep her alive till the boss, or if you put more HP on her and stuff like that, then she'll stay alive easier. But for me, I've got her built for the arena, so she's literally just built to drop defense. But really, guys, it's about taking a team comp in there that can at least survive up until the boss part, and then control his turn meter, and have enough damage output to deal with the damage he's got whilst he's buffed. There is definitely some value in bringing in cleanse or block debuffs like we've got here, because that Hex just does so much less. So it's kind of nice that I can just auto it away. My Man-Eater actually is doing so much work here. He's also bringing decreased attack for me. So any AoE decreased attack, AoE decreased defense massively reduces the damage that he's going to do to me, and just makes it an easier part of the fight. So I guess really you have to work with whoever you've got, but certainly make sure you bring in champions that have already got masteries on. That way you're not wasting scrolls on people that you don't care about. Use the Minotaur as an area to also farm XP, like I'm doing here. Any turn meter champs really help you, and people like drop defense champions are going to help you as well to do it quicker. I don't think you necessarily need them in here, as you can see with what I'm doing, but it will help you do it quicker if you can keep a drop defense champ alive. Look at the damage we do with poison at the end there, though. Really good. So I think that's probably about it, guys. It's a relatively simple dungeon, one of the easier dungeons out there. And yeah, I guess what I'd advise is get yourself a bunch of energy together, farm it overnight on like an auto clicker because it's just kind of a boring dungeon. But once you've got masteries on 5 champions, you'll find your clan boss damage goes up significantly. You should be killing brutal clan boss once you've got 5 champions that have got full masteries for sure. You should be getting like full chest on brutal. Even if you had like 5 commons, you should get brutal chest damage when you've got 5 people with masteries. That's how important they are. So guys, I hope that's helpful. As I say, it's not one of the most involved dungeons in the world, but once you've got it going, it's going to massively improve your game. So I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you in a video soon.